I made a little bit of a mistake there. First one today. I put the tape on the wrong side of the joint. Which would have made it glue the whole thing together. Actually, it wouldn't have. I would have just cut the slot over here, but the tongue would not line up with the middle tongue. And eventually when I braid the track, because it's going to be a portable track, I want the tongues right on top of each other so that when I slot, I take a 1/4 inch bit in a router and slot the holes, I'm going to drill straight down so that the braid can go in and out without interfering with each other. It makes it awkward to try to slot those tongues if they're not lined right up. It would still work, but this is easier. So I took that tape off. Now I'll cut another piece of tape. I try to build these so when I put the split in the top that I ride this edge along the fence of the saw rather than riding along the bolt heads. And I'll make a quick mark showing where the tongue is supposed to be. So you have a nice quick check. Make sure you're not cutting off the wrong part and destroying all the work you just did. Make sure all the dust is off. And then put the glue on using a small paint roller. Just ensures you get it on nice and smooth and full coverage. And it's a lot quicker than trying to do this with a little squeeze bottle. Especially if you're building a commercial track, you're going to be making 15 to 25 of these. Little things like this speed the process up. I don't put a real thick coat on the top, because if you do that, or on the top of the joint, you put too thick a coat on there, you run the risk of it lifting the tape off, and you won't notice the tape sliding while you're stapling the joint down. Get each end lined up. with our mark, and then staple it in position. Before I put the rest of the staples in, I want to make sure I don't staple somewhere below the slot. So I mark where the slots are going to be on the finished track. And I want to keep away from the middle so I don't ruin my saw blade when I cut this. Okay, so now we're glued and stapled down. Put this in the pile. Doesn't hurt to have a little weight on it. I don't like clamping these because unless you can clamp them perfectly, you're going to twist them. The staples and the glue, a little bit of weight on a bigger joint, on a bank turn. Say you're doing a king track with a 14-foot wide turn with a 30-degree bank on it. There's a lot of stress in there. I'll add some screws while I'm assembling, evenly spaced on both sides of where the joint will be, just to make sure it's nice and tight. And the screws are all countersunk so that they don't interfere with anything. All right, that's it for today.